Haji!
Haji! Sat Shri Akal ji.
How you doing?
Very well, brother. Ki banda? Ki haal chal hai?
All good, man. All good. आज तो पूरी टौर शौर कड्डी है मैं क्या जी दाढ़ी पूरी सेट कीती है दोनों भरावां ने ਅਸੀਂ
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल एक्चुअली मैं थोड़ा कैजुअल है ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਬਣ ਠਣ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੋ ਇੰਸਟਾਗ੍ਰam
ਤੇ ਬਸ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਯਾਰ ਵੱਡਾ ਭਰਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਸੋ ਮਾੜੀ ਮੋਟੀ ਟੌਰ ਕੱਢੀ ਆਪਾਂ
ਕੱਢੋ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਯਾਰ put me to shame ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ yeah ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ
Anand, so warm welcome, buddy, on Instagram Live.
Thank you, Ji. It's a big pleasure. It's the first time I've done an Instagram Live, so this is a new one for me as well.
Absolutely. Exclusive. I'm blessed to have an exclusive conversation with you on Instagram Live.
Yeah. Pleasure's all mine.
Fantastic. So, buddy, brand new track you've got released. Jungle, congratulations, that one is getting a lot of love and support worldwide.
Thank you.
And Kafi Pyar Mere us geet nu tell us a bit about, I mean, before we talk about Jungle, I mean, you've been in the scene for the music scene since 2016, I believe.
Yeah. First track was when was it? June 2016, so ho gaya kinne saal ho gaya 4 saal ho gaya kane
4-5 saal ho hi gaye
yeah bloody hell, time flies.
How's the journey been?
Yeah, it's been alright. It's been fun. It's definitely changed my life. I did not think I'd be doing this. I've had a topsy-turvy path in life, and I didn't think I'd be doing what I'm doing. But to be honest with you, it's just been 4 solid years of release after release after release. So I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun.
Where did this music element start from? Because we've recognized you. We know you from as an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Right. This twist of music in your life. I mean, tell us what inspired you to get into music?
To be honest with you, it started off being forced to do vajja and tabla lessons when I was a kid by my mum and dad, and absolutely hating it. So all the time it was like, oh God, we've got vajja again, or we've got tabla again, kind of thing. And I think all parents probably want their kids to learn kirtan, do tabla and vajja and stuff like that. At the start is like, I was definitely not a natural at it, and but after a while, after sticking with it for a few years, I started to enjoy it. फिर कीर्तन करते थे बहुत आनंद भी आंदा सीगा करे हारमोनियम पे कीर्तन करना है, and it was very enjoyable. When we went to school, I went to a school which heavily promoted the arts, be that sports or be that music. So I used to play the drums in a jazz band, swing band. And then it was a very kind of English environment, a very white environment, and then I started singing Tom Jones covers whilst I was at school in bands and stuff like that, so singing English songs and stuff. ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਗਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਹਨਾ, ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਸ਼ਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਹਨਾ, ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ when you go to university you start asking yourself questions about your identity, who are you, ਮੈਂ ਕੌਣ ਆ, ਸਾਡਾ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਕੀ ਆ, ਸਾਡਾ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਕੀ ਆ ਹਨਾ, ਤੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਫੋਕ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਮੋਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹਨਾ, ਤੇ so when I was at university I really got deeply into Punjabi folk. One of my soul brothers, Jet Kara, who's one of my university buddies, we used to sit there and spend hours on the vajja singing old Manik songs, Chamkila songs and stuff like that, and we were probably the only people in the whole university that were into that kind of thing at that point. But we were just in our own little world. Then when I was at university, I formed a little band called Barambor. We called the band, and it was a very folk setup. Ek vajje te sega, ek ढोलक te ek ढोल te, बहुत simple जा setup sega अपना है ना, तो उत्थे ਆਪਾਂ थोड़े जे show करने, live show, ते पुराने पंजाबी folk गाने गाने है ना, मानक साहब दे, सुंदर शिंदा दे, and at that point I did talk to some music producers at that time, I think I didn't really understand the game properly. I didn't know कि actually ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ you know ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ nobody's gonna sponsor you unless you're an amazing special talent or something like that.
Absolutely.
So I got a bit disillusioned with it, not really understanding the game properly and being messed around by a couple of producers and not really knowing what I was doing. So मैं you know ਸ਼ਰਤਾਂ मैं medical degree ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ. You know I finished my medical degree and then got into MMA, and then many years later, just by chance, you know Popsy Paji talent spotted me, you know, in 2016, you know, probably a good 15 years after, you know, I'd pretty much given up on the pursuit of music. And then, you know, before you know it, here we are 4 years down the line, having released 17 songs. It's been nuts.
Fantastic. Absolutely. It's been mega. I mean, ek to baad ek geet thoda aaya. It's been, you know, it's had quite interesting, you know, support with them tracks as well. Like, you know, even look back, your first track, I mean, say Munda Sardaranda, I mean, you can't go wrong with that track.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite tracks of yours, right?
Yeah, thank you.
And now coming to a different side, I mean, you've done, you know, some hip hop tracks, you've done some proper folk track styles, right?
Yeah.
With jungle now, I mean, what's this jungle all about in 2020, right? Tell us a bit about this, right?
Jungle, and according to some haters, it's Jungle Party. According to the haters, as has been said in a few of the comments, you know, which is always funny. But look, but like I'm a folk lover. Deep down, I'm a folk lover. Hana? I love my old school. I'm very much Punjabi. I'm very much Indian in my musical taste, in what I like. Even though I appreciate everything, I appreciate all genres. Hana? Now, when we were growing up, you know, been a long life, massive fan of Punjabi MC. So you know, in his 90s albums, he's got you know he used to do a lot of jungle stuff, you know, jungle tracks and stuff like that, you know. And they used to mix Punjabi folk with jungle. So we used to listen to those tracks, and you know, we'd be raving to those tracks, loving those songs. And just not heard drum and bass or jungle in a Punjabi song for a very long time. So to be honest with you, I just thought I'd give it a go. You know, there was this. Obviously, when you look at the Indian market, and predominantly, you know, we're making music for the Indian market, they're always looking for new sounds, new types of music. They all tell you hip hop, you know, Sidhu kar raha, Moosewala, Karan Aujla, you know, that hip hop style, jo uthe chal raha hai na, wo bhi kehda Punjab da, wo bhi baharੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ so you know ਸਾਡੀ ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ try ਕਰੀਏ ਹੁਣ in terms of western genres we're born and bred on this kind of stuff. We've got 1,000,001 western genres that we can try for the Indians, for the Punjabis ਹੈ ਨਾ so ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਚਲੋ ਐਤਕੀ drum and bass try ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, you know, and see what that does ਹੈ ਨਾ so I mean ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੋਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, you know, the hook line, it says ਕਿ how does it go ਵੱਡਾ ਜਾਨਵਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜੰਗਲ ਵਰਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ so you know you got the hook line which is talking about drawing parallels to the world being like a jungle, and then you got the musical genre jungle as well, so you know there you go, you know, bombs away. Let's drop it.
I like the fact that you're actually experimenting different sounds here, because you're not stuck with one kind of genre. You're kind of experimenting via the music, which is quite great to see that, because that's what music is all about. It's about trying out things. If it works or not.
That's it. No. Because what I noticed is each one of the 16 tracks that I'd released before Jungle, every single one of those tracks that I've released, every one of those tracks has got its own fan base. So there are people who I know or who've given me feedback for whom every one of those tracks is their favorite track. I will have people for whom Munda Sardara is their favorite track. I will have people for whom Kokka Belly is their favorite track, for whom New Direction is their favorite track. People's tastes are so varied, you know, and there's no such thing as a track which the whole world loves. You know, I've yet to come across, you know, a single genre, you know, jo sare loki, you know, ohi gaane nu, you know, pasand karde hai na. So yeah, it's fun, it's stimulating. Hun jisi baar ohi ekko cheez kari jao, wo bhi, you know, ਕਿਸੇ ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬੋਰਿੰਗ ਆ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ absolutely, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ that if I'm in this line of music,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
I'm not supposed to be stuck in one kind of genre. I should be trying out things and, you know, doing something different, you know, every time. Yeah, so that's interesting to see that element in your music. So I mean, when it comes down to selecting lyrics, I mean, Subaig, I mean, but you know, when we look at your collection, you got some strong, you know, lyrics. every track we see, there's always like a message behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a bit about the lyric side of things. I mean, what do you always keep in mind? What's one thing you keep in mind when you're selecting lyrics?
So one clear division that I've noticed with regards to Punjabi music is in the UK the emphasis is on music. You know, people. I'm making some very big sweeping generalizations here, yeah. But UK de vich loki music te ज़्यादा गौर करते हैं lyrics नालों, है ना? People almost, you know, people lyrics. It could be abracadabra, ipsy dipsy la la po mumbo jumbo, है ना? And if it sounds nice to the ear, people will appreciate it. पंजाब ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆਡੀਅנס ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਲਿਰਿਕਸ ਤੇ, ਹਨਾ, ਕਿ ਕੀ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੋਲ ਕੀ ਆ ਗਾਣੇ ਦੇ, ਹਨਾ. And ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਲਾਹ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ they said your lyrics, it's like a newborn child is your lyrics, you know. ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ music ਹੈਗਾ, video ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਜਿਵੇਂ, you know, how you dress the child, how you dress that baby, this is all gift wrapping and packaging, hana. And your core, your bedrock is your lyrics, you know, to see ਕੀ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੋਲ ਕੀ ਆ ਗਾਣੇ ਦੇ, ਹਨਾ. So very, very important that the lyrics are strong. Now, depending on who you ask, people have a different taste as to what they want to hear or what kind of lyrics are working or not working, or individual ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ, ਹਨਾ, ਜਾਂ, you know, ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ, ਹਨਾ. But for me, it's very important that it's very, very clear, ਹਨਾ, ਕਿ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ lyrics ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਤੇ ਚੜਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਹੋਣ, ਹਨਾ. It should be catchy, and that to me applies, you know, बेशक धार्मिक गीत होवे, बेशक romantic गाना, बेशक urban गाना है, जो मर्जी होवे ना, जुबान ते चढ़ने वाले बोल हों ते, you know, ones which are memorable, you know, and ones which you know, keep you know, keep at the forefront of your mind. That it's not like it goes in one ear and comes out the other ear. That's no good to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Kya baat hai. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, like you mentioned, India. I mean, the audience, like the music scene now, especially in Punjab, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger day by day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, even if you look at the UK market, it's kind of taken over.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, that they always concentrate on the lyric side of things rather than the music side of things.
Yeah.
When it comes down to UK Bhangra, right? Because we're sat in the UK, right? And you know, you're well established down here. Do you see a lot of hypocrisy or some form of thing where your music isn't actually reaching on that kind of platform where it should be? Do you ever feel that?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, you know, if you listen to any singer's interview, whoever's big, whether it's Gurdas Mann Sahib, you know, whether it's somebody who's flying high like Karan Aujla, or Sidhu Moosewala, you know, whoever's flying high or whoever has flown high in the past, they will always tell you that they really, really struggled in their early days. Nobody would give them a chance. Nobody would give them a platform. And I think it's just a fact of life, you know. You know, dunya jungle wangu hai na. And I think basically people will always back a horse which is winning, you know. So you know, so basically people are going to support you once you get a hit. Once you have a hit song, then all of a sudden, you know, everybody's your friend. Everybody wants to give you a platform. Everybody wants to give you space. Everybody wants a piece of your action, and that's just life. So in the early days, if people didn't want to play my stuff, मैंने थोड़ा दुख लग रहा है, यार, what's wrong? It's not fair. This isn't fair. That's not fair, or whatever, है ना. सारे ने अपना देखना, है ना. The radio stations, TV channels, उन्होंने सारे ने अपना देखना कि सानू की फायदा है ना. And the harsh reality is कि there's more to gain for them if they play an existing big artist or an existing hit artist, and play the tracks of you know, somebody who's a hit artist or a big artist, as opposed to trying out, you know, or experimenting with a newcomer. And that's just, it's just as simple as that. So for me, my philosophy and my family's philosophy, because my mother is the director of Mahavir Records, which is our record label, is that, look, we work with the willing. Yeah, ਅਸੀਂ music ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੋਤਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, hater ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਤੇ you know, whoever wants to hear our music, support our music, we are there for them. Yeah, and whichever channels, like for example yourself, you and I, you know, we get on, aside from this interview, we talk privately and stuff like that. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ support ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, you give me a lot of love, you know, and I give the same love back, you know what I mean. So any, you know, if a TV channel is supportive of me, I can work with them. If a TV channel's not interested or a radio station is not interested, you know, not a problem, because I'll just focus on the ones who are.
Absolutely, that's quite great of you saying that, because you know, end of the day, you know, jithe people play your tracks, people who support your track, they're more supportive compared to the rest, you know, because there's more high percentage of haters out there compared to lovers, you know. So it's one of those things, you know.
मेरी आदत नहीं है कि complain करने दी, है ना? I'm not a complainer, certainly not in public, you know. बहुत सारे बेचारे ਜਿਹੜੇ कलाकार है वो complain बहुत कर दिया कि फलाना स्टेशन मेरे गाने नहीं play कर रहा है, ये channel मेरे गाने नहीं play कर रहा है, ये वो है ना. Just focus on the ones that do. You know, just work with the willing. You know, you're going to have some fans out there. You're going to have some supporters on there. Just focus on them. You know, and just keep building up. You know, अंत दे विच you know थोड़ा जड़ा काम हैगा थोड़ा काम बोलदा है ना ते सारे दी वारी आउंदी है and just relax, man. Enjoy the process. Make what you feel. And you know, मैं कड़ा superstar है मैं अजे मेरा अजे कोई गाना you know hit नहीं होया हैगा अजे है ना. I've been at it 4 years. I'm gonna carry on. You know, जिन्नी देर तक you know हुंदा नहीं साडा. You know, so we just keep doing it. It will happen.
हद हो गई भाजी तुसी इन्नी इंटरनेशनल आर्टिस्ट जिहड़ा बंदा फिल्म च भी आ चुका है वो किधर छोटा मोटा कलाकार हो गया हद हो गई. I mean, I need to talk about that movie as well. I think you did once. I mean, I think you played a role of a doctor in there or something.
Yeah. So what's Raza, isn't it? The director's name.
Yeah,
from your part of the world. And I mean, I got the part through Kully. I'm you know, a lifelong acting enthusiast. I don't know if you've seen any of my comedy skits. They're a bit wacky, you know that I've made over the years. But you know, from a young age, I've been acting. You know, when I was a kid, I used to do something called Central TV Drama Workshops. So I've had acting training, and I've had a few small parts in kids programs like Harry's Mad and Peak Practice and Freddie Star Show. A few bits and bobs like that. Done theatre roles and stuff, you know. So I've always had it in me. It's always I feel like I've always had a natural aptitude for acting and performance. But again, it's not something which I've expressed fully. You know, it's there's a lot of potential for things that I can, and hopefully hopefully things that I will do. This particular role, Kully, who, you know, from UK Premier, who does my PR, she said, look, there's a director, it's a British film, they want somebody to play a Sikh doctor, and guess what, you know, I am actually a Sikh doctor in real life. It's a comedy part. You know, Raza saw some of my music videos and heard me speaking in interviews. He liked how I spoke, you know, how I held myself. He said, right, we're going to give him the part. It was a speaking part, and he was very impressed, you know, with my performance, you know. And I've had that experience a couple of times. Another was with Bijoy Nambiar, a Bollywood movie called Daesh, which is coming out in 2021. Uthe vi, you know, sanu ek mauka mila sega acting da na. And again, you know, BJ Saab very impressed with what I did, and had a lot of compliments and a lot of love from the team. You know, so when the opportunities come, you know, to take on an acting role, I'll be there, ready.
Fantastic. I mean, you know, it'll be interesting to see you in a Punjabi film as well. That'll be very interesting. See, you know, maybe playing a role of a painter or doctor by chance. that'll be a challenging role, right?
Anything's possible, mate. Anything. I'll give anything a go. Punjabi for me, it's still a second language. You know, my mother tongue's still English. I'm UK born and bred, but you know, I know enough Punjabi and I know enough about accents and acting to be able to nail a role with a bit of practice. So you know, I'll give anything a bash.
Fantastic. I mean, mentioning some names as well who are watching us as well. We've got Parveen Paliwal from Delhi, great supporter. He's always posting good music. We've got Rush Frantic, music producer from Singapore. Warm welcome to him. We've got Master Rakesh Baji as well watching us from India.
Salute ji. Kya
baat hai. Master Rakesh, I mean, top guy, I mean, top artist.
Yeah.
Massive contribution in the music scene.
Yeah, well, right? there's not many people who can match Master Rakesh Saab, so yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. We got Jeet Barsal Puri Paji as well, great songwriter.
Yeah.
We got Deep Olak from Italy. Wow. Italian people have joined as well.
International show Thwadi.
Right. We've got a very interesting page watching us as well, personal matchmakers, right? So we need to make sure before we speak something wrong, right? Right. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਪਈ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੁਆਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਨਾ people the eyes on everyone ਕਿ ਕਿਹਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ ਹੁਣ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਹੈ
ਤੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਰਾ ਲੈ ਯਾਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ
right. So I mean talking about your profession as well, like you mentioned you're a doctor, right? By profession.
Yeah.
How do you manage to balance your time with the music and the doctorate? I mean, tell us that. I mean, it's quite tough task you're working with.
Yeah, quite simple, bro. I'm a locum doctor. I work in A&E, so I work part time, and I choose my own hours basically. And my passion is music and entertainment, and I work around that. So I work when I want to work. Normally weekends, basically.
Wow.
Simple as that.
आज छुट्टी मारी लगता तुसें आज
yeah ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਵਿਹਲਾ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ
ਚਲੋ ਵਧੀਆ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਰੈਸਟ ਵੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ I mean ਡਾਕਟਰੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸੌਖੀ ਆ I mean you must be getting a lot of patients where they come with such surreal ways of describing their symptoms, you know.
I've got plenty of funny stories. I just don't know if I'm allowed to tell them in a public sphere. I've got private ਗੱਲਾਂ ਆ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਬਥੇਰੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ
Absolutely. So Paji, I mean coming to the music side of things, I mean you performed on various stages. I mean award functions, melas, everywhere. I mean life da koi aisa performance sari zindagi da what's become almost a memorable moment of your life so far
on a stage.
On a stage, yeah, any stage. I mean, either a mela you performed our award function, anywhere, somewhere you kind of consider to be your life's most best performance ever, or you know, tell us a bit about that.
What was the best performance? It's hard to pick one. I guess I was asked to perform at the Folk and Funky show, Jazzy B Folk and Funky show. And that was when I was quite early on in the game, and that was a really good atmosphere that day, and it was an honour to be asked to perform. So probably that's the one I'd go for. I don't know if you've seen the videos of it. There are some videos on the net of the performance, but just a really good vibe that day.
How was that experience though? Because like you mentioned, I mean, there's 2 or 3 people who are watching us who are actually diehard fans of Jazzy B, the Crown Prince up on ground. I mean, tell us a bit about when you performed there and your experience and actually meeting the man himself. I mean, how was that feeling?
Really good. Yeah, just a positive vibe. Nice to meet the guy. Nice to hang out with him. Backstage. Just a good experience. I mean, he's done a lot of tracks with Popsy. As you know, I'm very close to Popsy as well. So we've got that kind of that connection there. I met him. I had a chance to meet him at Popsy's nephew's wedding, Harpstander. Good mate of mine. Excellent musician. Excellent all tabla player. Met him at Harp's wedding as well. So what can you say about Jazzy? Jazzy is a one-man army. He's an international Punjabi superstar. Very original guy. Great entertainer, great performer, great singer.
Absolutely, no doubt. I mean, his contribution into Punjabi music internationally is it's unforgettable.
Yeah, I mean, see the reason why that particular event was memorable because Sukhshinder Shinda and Jazzy B had come together to do that album Folk and Funky 2. After many years of not working together, and obviously people who are fans of their music in that era know what their contribution was to Punjabi music and how they were basically just making hit after hit after hit for a long period of time.
Absolutely, no doubt, because even till now as well, we still look back to the music of the 90s, the kind of music they've given, and the kind of stats have come on, So now, when it comes to Subaig Singh, right? I mean, you've worked with Popsy, you worked with Anand as well from Mumbai as well. I mean, tell us a bit about that experience working with Anand, because it's an interesting name when it comes down to the Mumbai Bollywood side of things, So tell us a bit about how your connection with Anand started. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so Anand, very well respected music director from Mumbai. He was well known for his remixes in the 90s. Very, very talented. The guy's Bollywood. Basically, he's from Mumbai. He's at the hub of showbiz in India. And his stuff appears in films and stuff like that. So the guy is basically, he knows the game, A to Z, inside out. Outside of obviously with Punjabi music in India, you've got Punjabi music for Punjabis. Those artists which are more popular in Punjab, and then you have like an international flavor of Punjabi music. So your likes of Mika Singh and Guru Randhawa and stuff like that. You got those type of artists who tend to appeal, as a form of mainstream music within India and internationally as well. So that's his specialist area is commercialized pop, Indian pop, which is generally tends to be in Punjabi, because Punjabi music sells throughout the world, throughout India, in all the nightclubs of Mumbai. If you go to the beaches of Goa, there'll be some club beat with Punjabi singing going on. So he his forte is that very kind of clubby commercial Punjabi music. And really good working with him. Added an extra dimension to me. I got to show a different side of myself. I think it confused a lot of people. A lot of people were scratching their heads. Well, hang on a second. एक मिनट ਇਹ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕਲੀਆਂ ਗਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਬੜੇ ਦੇਸੀ ਜੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਗਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਆਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾ ਮਨ singing ਕੋਕਾ ਬੈਲੀ ਦਾ ਡੈਮ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ hot ਲੱਗਦੀ and all this. So yeah, I got to express a different side of myself, show a different side of myself. It was a very enriching experience.
Yeah, about that. I mean, that experience is quite interesting because Hari Anand, his brother Anand Anand, he's been very involved in Punjabi music himself as well.
Yeah.
Working with Hanson, various other artists. So that experience, it sounds interesting. Buddy, I've got a very interesting a team who's watching us right now, the Artist Band.
Yeah.
Right, and they've written, keep up the amazing work, bro. Looking forward working with you on your next music video, buddy. Get to see different vibes. Wait, buddy, live music di je gal kariye. Me and you, the rest of the people are watching us, we've grown up watching live music in the UK. That vibe is unforgettable. Tell us a bit your experience on, performing with a live band as well. Have you actually come across performing live with a band?
So yes, I have. But of my own admission, at this stage it's been limited. Not really had the opportunity, because I've come on the scene. I came on the scene in 2016, and it's 2020 now. So we are now in the era where, I'm talking about the UK market. Where we're talking about being in the era now where the days of the Punjabi live bands are well behind us. The costs of booking a live band in this day and age for most people is prohibitive. Most people would rather book a DJ. So most of the performing opportunities I've had within the UK have been PAs. It's cheaper to get a singer to sing over his own song, which is played by a DJ. I've tried to make that a bit more sexy, and a bit more entertaining by getting dancers on board and trying to make it into a dance performance and stuff like that. But the sad truth is that I've just not had much of an opportunity to actually perform with a live band. When I was at university, we had a live band called Barabor. Like I said, it was a very desi setup. We had just me, a tolak player, a tol player, a bajja player, and a tumbi player, or something like that. And we used to just sing songs, So when I was at school, when I was at university, I used to sing live, and that was with a swing band, I think the only time in recent years when I've performed with a live band was with Tubbsy's crew at Vasaki Milla. I sang a Dharmic track at the Vasaki Milla. But other than that, unfortunately, so far I've not had the opportunity. Studio singing and live singing are two very different things. So basically what's happened with me is that because I've not had the opportunity to sing live so much, everything I've been doing has been studio based. For me to jump on a stage and sing live with a band, well within my capability, and very, very possible, but I would just have to switch gears and have a few practice sessions, rehearse and just get into that zone, get into that mindset, because like I said, live singing, live gigging is very different to being in a studio. Sometimes you get people who are good singing live, but they're not as good when they get into the studio booth. And then you also get a lot of people who are good in the studio booth, and when you get them singing live, they don't, you know, they're not up to scratch as well. You know, and it just shows that they're two slightly different areas. It's like 2020 cricket versus a test match. You know, some athletes excel in one more than the other, and you know, yes, 100%. I'd love to sing live. You know, what can be, you know, that's what music is all about. We live in a, you know, Jamana Potaya, yaar. You know, ki kariye, you know, it's you know.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you mentioned, I mean, the era we're in, we're kind of losing out the live side of things. Because ohi to cheez hai, you know, asal che, when you look back to history, I mean, we're, you know, you previously mentioned, you know, Manik Saab, Chamkila, all of them artists. We've grown up seeing them performing with a very simple live band. You know, and still we listen to that music. Losing that element at the moment in the music scene is quite, you know, it's quite harsh.
The other thing is, the other thing is, in the UK, bro, is that musicians are a very, they're a very rare and precious stone. You know what I mean? You know, it's your musicians are in short supply. You know. And, you know, when if I was in India, I'd perform every day. I'd be surrounded by musicians. You know. Also, I've not come from a musical family. I don't have a massive social circle with loads of musicians in it and stuff like that to just sit and jam and stuff. You know, for me to get musicians together, I have to jump through about 8 hoops and observe about 10 different kinds of formalities just to have a rehearsal. You know what I mean? You know, it's if, like I said, you know, if I was sat in India, you know, to be able to get people together to do live stuff and stuff like that would be much easier and more accessible. So even for me, you know, it's there's a lot of effort required just to coordinate, you know, a simple day to get you know, professional musicians to do something. When I was younger, you know, my little brother's a decent musician, but now he stopped doing it. He's focusing on his career. You know, he can play 4 or 5 different instruments. We used to jam a lot. You know, he'd be on the vajja or on the sarangi or on the tumbi and would jam and stuff. But you know, he's moved to London now, working busy in London. So I haven't got anybody immediately accessible to be able to do stuff. So maybe you know, this can be an opportunity to put a message out. Okay, guys, if you're a musician and you like me and you want to work with me, you know, please do get in touch, because there's nothing better than, you know, having a slot 1 day a week, 2 days a week, and just and practicing together and jamming together. And let's set something up. Let's set it off.
Absolutely, because mahal hi alag hunda hai when you with musicians. Is that you know, the whole mahal is different. You know, rather than working in a studio with, you know, working with pre-recorded music or whatever, you know. I mean, talking about like Punjabi, the Punjabi music, what we're currently listening at the moment. I mean, it was a time when we used to listen to, you know, proper hardcore Bhangra beats. Then it came down to a bit of the Western side of things. Now it's solely become hip hop. Now, being an artist, do you think that Punjabi Bhangra element is dying down completely? Do you hona chahiye, because it's our genre? I mean, Bhangra music is solely our genre, but it's getting mixed away with, you know, it's getting washed away with hip hop music and urban music. But do you think that, you know, is it a good thing? Or, I mean, as an artist, well, how do you look at this?
What do I think of this? I think, yeah, but there's space for everything. There's no rules there's no rules and regulations with music. Primarily, we are dictated by the audience. What do the audience want? Now, the only reason why everybody is doing hip hop right now is because, you know, that's what the audience wants. You know, what artists do is an immediate reflection of what they perceive the audience to be demanding. You know, and you know, Jazzy apne aap waste kar rahe hain. Phir jo marji karo, hana, you can do whatever you want. You know, you can, you know, you can sing whatever you like if you're doing it just purely for yourself. If you're doing it for or if you're doing it with an audience in mind, then you have to respect what the demand is. You know, now unfortunately that sometimes can be a little bit restrictive. I feel that for me, I've got the luxury of being able to try different things and not being too bothered. You know, if the Ghana's a flop, they koi like nahi karda, it's like shrug your shoulders, no problem. Chalo, you know, next time kuch aur kar lange. You know, je log ne pasand nahi karta, you know, we'll try something else. So you know, that's why I'm always open for experimenting. Now, for me, with regards to the hip hop thing, I've done hip hop tracks. I've got hip hop tracks which are going to be coming out very soon. And yeah, you know, I've done them. I'm happy to do them. You know, for me, my feeling on it is that if I wanted to listen to a hip hop track, you know, I would follow. How do I say this without sounding bad? I'd listen to real hip hop or proper hip hop. You know what I mean? Hannah? For me, you know, maybe this is coming from the perspective that I'm living in the UK. I feel that when you listen to Punjabi music, you know, when I listen to Punjabi music, I want the Punjabi experience. I want the Desi experience, you know, because that is the flavor of Punjabi music. So I want authentic Punjabi music. If I was a hip hop fan, not a problem, but I'd go away and I'd listen to proper hip hop, you know, from hip hop artists who've lived that life. They're from the streets. They're talking about the things that they talk about in hip hop, you know. To me, there's a bit of this kind of appropriation thing of putting on a template of something which works in the ghettos of Brooklyn or on the streets of London, and then let's now kind of pretend to be that in Punjabi music. It's a bit of a weird thing for me. You know, it's not, you know, but that's my personal opinion. The audience clearly doesn't share the same view, because if that was the case, then you know, the Punjabi hip hop artists wouldn't be, you know, high flying, you know, bestsellers as they are. But that's just my view, you know.
You know, I'm kind of getting very mesmerized with your conversation, because काफी गूढ़ियां गल्लां कर रहे हैं, very deep गल्लां of music, right? It sounds very good, and it's a great opportunity that got you on here. Right now, if we talk about, you know, you're mentioning about folk music, for example, right? Now your vocal tone is very folk.
That's it, yeah.
Right, you mentioned that you've been listening to Manak Saab and Jamkila, all of them artists and stuff. Who do you actually look up as an inspiration at this day and age when it comes down to folk music?
Inspiration, current folk singers, you mean?
Current folk singers, yeah. Who you look up as an inspiration at the moment?
As in who's currently new on the scene?
Even new on the scene or active at the moment, or, you know, whatever you can.
Yeah. Let's see. The thing is, for me, the old artists are still alive, as kicking as they were, you know, because you know, if an artist's voice has been recorded, they're immortal, aren't they? You know, so for me, what do I like to listen to? Believe it or not, is I'm a big fan of Tad Sarangi. So for me, you know, my favorite artists are the likes of Charan Singh Alamgir, Gurbakh Singh Albella. You know, so you know, those artists, obviously that's from a previous generation now, but for me they're still alive and kicking, you know. In terms of whose singing do I like, whose vocal tone do I like, you know, I really like Rajveer Jawanda's voice. He just a beautiful rich tone, you know. And when you're talking about people's vocals, it's so personalized and so specific, you know, because some people are very, very skilled singers, you know, they have amazing vocal ability, you know, and stuff like that, but sometimes their tone, the texture of their voice is not for you, you know, and some people are very, very basic, unsophisticated singers, but they just have this tone and this richness in their voice that you just connect with, you know. So Rajveer Jawanda, you know, I just really like his voice, you know. I really like the guy's voice. G Sidhu, you know, you know, I like the guy's voice, you know. G Sidhu, who else? Rajveer Jawanda. Lab Hira still active, isn't he?
Live Hira.
Yeah.
Because Live Hira, he's still active. I mean, he disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
But he's come back with some mega tracks.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you who else who I really love and who I really rate really highly. Yeah. And is Apna. You had him on your Instagram. Is Apna Santu. Santu, yeah.
Santu Singh, yes.
Yeah, flipping out. I mean, that guy, you know, is to me is he's the real deal, you know. And not only is he you know, vocally, you know, in again, my personal opinion, not only is he vocally world class, you know, he can do the same thing what he does in Punjabi that he can do the same thing in English. And now when you look at him, you know, physically, you know, Sona Kamunda. And when he puts on that Diljit style pug, that Patella pug thing, he's got, you know, to me, you know, he's an all round package, Santu, Hana. And the best thing about him, UK talent. You know,
absolutely.
UK, who says there's no talent in the UK? You know, you don't need to look further than that guy, you know. And he's from my hometown as well, Nottingham. You know, I was born and bred in Nottingham, and you know, so yeah, Santu, man. yeah, what
Absolutely, no
what
doubt. I
do?
mean, the classical side of him,
Yeah, yeah,
Ghazal, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
kind of run with that genre.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, you know, if I could do you know, even 25% of the things that guy can do with his voice, you know, the guy is good, man. Very good.
No bother. Can't bother. Good handful of artists you've mentioned there. I mean, buddy, we've got Rush Frantic now from Singapore, right? And
Yeah.
he's mentioned about that track "She Dances."
Oh yeah.
Right. He wants to listed a couple of lines now. So मैं क्या कुछ रंगा रंग काम कर ही दो हुन एक दो लाइनां, of "She Dances."
Yeah. हवा सौण दे महीने वाली आ गई यारो तप दे कलेज ठंड पा गई पैंदी ठंडी ठंडी मुख ते फुआर कणियां च नचदी फिरे एक छमक जही मुटियार छम छम नचदी फिरे
Aye, aye, क्या
I nearly forgot the words.
But what you said there, that was solid. That.
I was about to stop. I was about to stop mid sentence. But yeah, no respect to Rash Frantic. He's a good lad. Makes some good tunes, and I know he loves She Dances because he asked me to. He gave me a shout out at the time when it came out. So yeah, respect Rash Frantic to you.
God, bother. I mean, it's great to see that we've got a variety of people, watching us, because we've got Singapore, Italy, we've got India as well. We've got,
Yeah.
I mean, it's international at the moment, yeah. Galabata internationally, yeah, right? So, your tracks are banging. You've done a movie. Let's talk a bit about the Dharmic side of Subaig Singh as well. I mean, you've done a Dharmic track, what came out last year as well, which I really loved. Rabab.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing track. I mean, great lyrics. Great vocals, phenomenal music as well. I mean, the video as well. I mean, tell us a bit about that track as well. Where did that track get put together, and how was the experience and the shoot as well for the video?
Yeah, so to be honest with you, yeah, look, I've always, as I mentioned before, I've always been a big fan of Daddy. Religion, spirituality has always played a part in my life. It's always been there. When I first started off in music, I was always reluctant to go rushing onto a Sardar track or a Dharmic track, purely because I thought that it would be a bit too predictable. Because being a Sardar myself and stuff like that, people would automatically expect me to come out with something like that. So I always thought that I would do it, but I would delay it. Same thing, incidentally, with regards to comedy songs, because I have done a couple of comedy songs over the years, which have gone viral on YouTube and stuff like that. And a lot of people said to me, mate, why are you messing around? Do a comedy song. And I've always kind of shied away from it, because I just know that if I do a comedy song, it is going to go viral. Yeah, 100% it will go viral. And the problem is that then for the rest of my life, I'll just be doing comedy songs. It's like Bhagwant Mann Sahab. He great comedian, and he's actually got a really nice voice, good voice as well. And he's done some comedy songs which were big hits. And then Bachara, when he went and did a serious one, nobody wanted to listen to it. Because they just wanted his comedy so much. So I'd always delayed doing the Dharmic stuff. But an opportunity came up. Gurcharan Malji was putting together an album for Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday. And it all stemmed from that. To be honest with you, he wanted artists to contribute a track. So maybe Federer made a contribution to it. With that song. We were going to Rajasthan anyway for my mum's 60th birthday. It'd been one of the lifelong dreams to go to Rajasthan and explore all the royal palaces out there. So we went for a 3-week trip. And while we were there, obviously Rajasthan's a very beautiful, picturesque place. I got in touch with my cousin who actually shot the video, Satkaran, who's from Kala Sangha Pind, Satkaran. If you're watching, and he's a very talented video director, very good at special effects, VFX and stuff like that. He's the one that actually made Jungle as well, edited Jungle.
Absolutely.
He drove down, and we said, look, we want a low budget video, but we want to make the most of this beautiful scenery, these palaces and things that we have. Very, very cheap video. One of the cheapest videos I've done was Rabab. It's just there's only me in the video and some palaces and stuff like that. But it just gelled really, really, really nicely. Popsy's music is obviously as you know, it's always top notch. I try to sing this track differently compared to other tracks. I didn't use the folk tone. I tried to sing a bit more gently and in a bit more of a melodic style.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it just worked really happy. Got really nice feedback. It was very satisfying to actually do. Some tracks you do because you have to do them because the audience wants them. This track, it was, Rudari ala kam se kai.
I think यही गल है ना जिदा हम when it comes down to dharmic songs or हमेशा I always look out for dharmic songs what are very melodic, very peaceful, rather than aga lange oga lange, right?
Yeah.
We have a different vibe. But I would say Rabab is one of those dharmic songs that after quite a long time, I mean, I came across it, and I love it. I still love it.
Yeah,
it's a good dharmic song, and it's going to be heard by many, I would say, for many years.
Yeah, thank you. Well, look, that's one thing I always try to do. I'm not saying I achieve it every time or will do, but I always try to. When I first got into the game, I wanted to create stuff which would be Sadabahar, evergreen. Something which कई बारी जो ਆਪਾਂ कुछ पुराना स्टाइल ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਛੇਤੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹਨਾ when you do something cutting edge, bang on the button, current trends, within 2 months it sounds old, because the trend has changed so quickly, and music trends are just changing so fast, and sometimes when you decide to do something a bit more solid, something a bit more meaningful, something a bit more rich, it tends to have greater staying power.
Yeah, about that. Absolutely. So, Baji, you've done so many tracks. You got Jungle out there. Everyone's loving the track. The title's banging as well, Jungle. We're actually living in the jungle, right? So many variety of animals out there, right?
Yes.
So, what's the next project now? I mean, tell us any upcoming tracks for this year. Are you going to wait till 2021 now? I mean, what's next now for Subaig Singh?
No, bro. But like, after the last track I did before Jungle was the Warrior track, Sardar Tepagit Kita Sega, Hana, and we had all these plans ready. And guess what happens? COVID-19, and it just put a scupper on everything. And so I just use that as an opportunity just to have a bit of a rest and a break. We had to take stock, at home, with our family businesses as well. We've got nursing homes, we've got elderly residents, so we had to really make sure that, we had our priorities in the right place. So once all that was sorted, I had a good 4 or 5 month break where I did not even think about music. People were talking to me about music. Popsy ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਯਾਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ shout out ਕਰ ਲੈ ਕੁਝ like clip ਬਣਾ ਦੇ for this, for that and the other, and I said, bro, to be honest with you, I'm just switching off from music. I just, for the last good 4 or 5 months, I focused on diet, clean eating.
Wow.
Hello?
Yeah.
So I focused on clean eating, diet, exercise, and stuff like that. But now it is basically just going to be back-to-back tracks. We've got track after track after track. So next track, looking at 8th of October, and just gonna hammer them out now, back to back.
Fantastic.
We're living. I feel like we're living in an era now where it's you have to be. If you're serious about your career in music, or you're serious about, you have to be basically active. This whole thing about I'm going to make super high quality and release once a year or once every 2 years and stuff like that. I think all didn't get yet. I don't think we're I think the time has changed.
It has changed. I mean, we can see. I mean, every week, daily, we tend to see a poster releasing so and so song coming soon. Every week, this more than, I don't know, I would say Punjab is the big hub at the moment where it comes down to Punjabi music. We're seeing daily. There's always 5 or 6 songs of different artists releasing. Right. So so looking forward.
I would say to yourself and any other artist who's watching or listening, anything with regards to, if you've got a song coming just tag me in your story on Instagram, and I'll share it. Whatever it is, there's benefit for you, there's benefit for me, in a sense, because we all need content on our social media, and if we're sharing other people's stuff, that's also good for me, because I've got more people engaging with my with my social as well. So that's why I've got into the habit now of sharing as much as I can on Facebook and Instagram. Let's you can only get engagement. People only engage with you if you've got content, and that includes other people's work. So I just share everything. Send it to me, make it in a easy shareable format, like where you just have to press one button where you can share it, and I'll share it.
Well, see, I want to mention that actually. It's good that you've mentioned that, because since I've been connected with you now, like via Facebook and Instagram, I've noticed you're very, very when it comes down to supporting over talents, over producers, over music. I've noticed that you never hesitate in liking, commenting, or sharing their work. So that's a very interesting thing to see, that you're kind of supporting over talented people as well as being an artist yourself.
100%. I mean, early on, when I first came onto the music scene, it was a case of I thought that the music was all about love, and it's all about sharing, and it's all about positivity and stuff like that. Now, unfortunately, the music industry is another form of jungle, and it really doesn't work like that. So then I got into this slightly negative mindset. Was, listen, if you support me, then I'll support you. जिससे मेरे गाने शेयर करोगे, मैं थोड़े गाने शेयर करना, मेरा नहीं शेयर करना, फिर पंडित वजह उठा देंगे. But now I've changed my mentality on it completely. Because actually, if I share other people's stuff, it's actually going to benefit me as well. Because like I said, on social media, it's all about content. I could release a song every day, but I know realistically I can't release a song every day. But if people are coming to my social media to hear other people's songs and they're engaging, then they're still engaging. So I'm killing lots of birds with one stone there. Not only am I sharing love, sharing positivity, sharing other people's work, I'm also creating content for myself, and I think more of us should have the same mentality. I mean, I'm working with Gold Media now, who Gold Media did the digital distribution for Jungle, and they've got like a Gold Media family. They've got a system whereby all the people who are in their network, the major artists, whether it's Kiana, they're like Mr. Baz or Ami Verk or whoever they are, when a new song comes out, all their pages share it, and that it works out for everybody. It's for everybody's benefit, So
that's great to see that, because end of the day, the kind of industry we're starting at the moment in the UK is very, very small. So I think a message that goes to all the artists and producers in the UK to actually support each other, because it's a very small industry now compared to what it was before. It's kind of
some things are quite difficult. Some things are quite difficult to implement in terms of practicality and stuff. I find that on Facebook, just to press the share button, it requires no effort at all. All you just press the share button. If someone tags you in a story, you just press the share button and it's done. Some things are a bit more harder work, right? Okay, if somebody asks for a video shout out, it's like, bloody hell, okay, you've got to do an effort, you've got to think of what you're going to say and stuff like that, and we're all living busy lives. That might be sometimes a bit too much to ask. But if you make it easy for people, and all they've got to do is press the share button, it's you think, well, why wouldn't you do that? It's just so easy to do. So just press the share button. It doesn't take even half a second.
That's it. I mean, that one share button actually makes the person feel appreciative that you've shown appreciation. The fact, you like the content and you shared it, amongst your fan following.
That's it.
So fantastic, Galan, buddy. Very interesting conversation, and it's been your first exclusive Instagram live as well.
It has.
So big respect. Baki asi ei keh sakde hain that chaddi kala ch raho, and hoping the very best in your musical career. I mean, looking forward to your next music.
The next track's going to be a bit of a surprise, and definitely will raise a few eyebrows. Like I said, I'm enjoying myself, buddy. I'm gonna release a track. I'm gonna take risks, and I'll give anything a bash. And so ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੱਟਰ ਫੈਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ folk music ਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ that I'm not giving them exactly what they want when they want it, because there are some people who just want me to sing Bhangra, just want me to sing Desi music, Desi folk and stuff like that. So I apologize to you guys. Don't worry, I've got plenty of that type of stuff as well. You know, folk music nu chhaddan nahi lagya hai. You know, I'm just I'm having fun. I'm experimenting with different genres. Not every single type of track that I do is gonna be for everyone. You know, and got to take risks. You know, if people don't like it, you know, I'll just Mafi Manglunga and release another one, you know, 4 weeks later. That's it.
Absolutely. Fantastic, Paji. God bless on the, you know, hoping the very best in your musical career.
Thank you very much.
You know, so you can't go wrong with the much on the daddy, man. Wicked. So big up to all those who have been watching us across the whole world, globally as well. Solid stuff. So thank you very much, Paji, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Been a pleasure. Thank you.